So hi everyone, my name is Shweta Gupta and I'm from Team Wellcure. I welcome you all to this free session of the Gut Health e-learning program by Priyanka Jain. So before we get into the session, some pointers to ensure that the flow of the session progresses smoothly. Request everyone to keep your microphones on mute, your phones on silent. For any communication, we'll use the chat box. And for your questions, I would request all of you to stick to the topic for your questions, and you may take notes for future reference. So I think most of you are familiar with what Wellcure is. So Wellcure is a digital platform for natural health and natural living. There are various sections on our platform, from Q&A to recipes to a collection of body wisdom articles to health journeys of people who have recovered and even dealt with their health issues using the natural laws. To the online workshops. These are live workshops that we have, and of course, the e-learning platform where we have a number of e-learning courses. And of course, you can get the Wellcure app from your app store. Karishma, may I request you to please disable voice for everyone? So about today's session, like I mentioned, we have our program expert for the gut health e-learning course, Priyanka Jain, today. And we will start the session with a discussion by Priyanka on what is gut health, why there has been so much hype about gut health in the recent years, the importance of gut health, gut detox, and how to fix the unhealthy gut. After which we will share details about the e-learning course, which is the gut health e-learning course, and of course, open the forum to your Q&A. So that's going to be the flow of today's session. And now it's a pleasure for me to welcome Priyanka and introduce you all to Priyanka. So Priyanka is a plant-based nutrition and lifestyle coach. She herself is a fitness enthusiast who's following a vegan lifestyle, and she has her own YouTube channel through which she makes videos in English as well as Hindi to educate people, to familiarize them with the natural lifestyle, clean eating, and women's health. She's also the founder of a lovely brand called Soch Green, which has a complete range of eco-friendly period products. So it's a pleasure to have Priyanka with us today, and I'm sure today's session is going to be insightful, with Priyanka sharing all about gut health and the gut health course. So Priyanka, I welcome you to the session and hand over the session to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Shweta, so much for organizing this and having me here to speak. Before I start, I do have a confusion because I was about to start the recording and for some reason it says it's already recording. I never started it.
So it's okay, Priyanka. We are recording at our end. Maybe you can go ahead.
Okay, sure. Right. So I'll just share my screen.
Sure.
Okay, so you can see my screen?
I think it's coming up.
Hi everyone. I'd like to welcome all of you to the gut health introductory session. It's mainly actually before I start, I'd like to know from your end that what exactly you guys think is gut health. What do you understand by gut health? And when you first saw the information on this session, what was that the first thing that came to your mind, and what sort of expectations do you have from this session? If you could just comment in the chat box, it'll be great for me to get an idea that what are your expectations, so that I can actually cover those things in this session. Is the chat box open, Shweta?
Yes, the chat box is open.
Yeah, okay. So just let me know if anybody wants to say anything. Okay, so there are a lot of queries that are talking about particular health issues. There are a lot of health issues, and I will briefly cover which ones are related to gut health. But in this session, I can definitely not cover the solutions to those. I will definitely give the names of issues that are related to gut health, and that can definitely be fixed if you fix your gut health. And bowels and healthy absorption of nutrients, diseases that are caused, improve my gut health. Healthy gut, want to know about healthy food, probiotics, gut repair, digestion. Okay, so basically, I would like to start with a very layman's definition of what exactly do we mean by gut health. And in the super layman, if we say what is the gut, then, or if you Google it or you go to the dictionary meaning, it's going to say the GI tract or our digestive system, or sometimes it just says the stomach and intestines. But I feel that humans, all of us, have intuitively known that our gut is different from just being our stomach or just the intestine or even the digestive system, because we talk about it in a very different way. When my stomach hurts, I say my stomach is hurting. I don't say my gut is hurting. And when it's a lot more, it's something more emotional or attached to feelings, that is when we say I have a gut feeling about something. So intuitively, we've always known, that gut is different than the stomach or even the digestive system. We all know that the digestive system is mainly to it's all about the food that we eat. When we eat, we chew food, digestion starts in our mouth, it goes through the stomach, through the intestines. That's where all the food is absorbed, processed, nutrients are released, taken to the rest of the body through the blood, and the waste material is thrown outside the body. This is what we understand as our digestive system. But what exactly is there that that makes it the gut, or makes the gut different from our digestive system? And that is basically all the microorganisms. So we all know that our entire environment, anything that we see around us, including us, my body, or any objects around me, or plants and trees, other animals, everything that is around me is literally covered with these single cell organisms, one cell organisms, and there's a variety of them. Mainly, we know them as bacteria, and they reside literally everywhere, inside and outside of us. My entire skin has bacteria. Inside my body, there's bacteria. But if we look at the inside of our body, the majority of bacteria in our body actually lies in the gut. And that's why it is very important for us to know about it, that how it is affecting my body and even mind. So that majority of bacteria lies in our digestive system, most of them in our stomach and small intestine and even large intestine. So a huge number of bacteria resides there. So whatever we are eating today is largely impacted, and how it gets digested is also impacted by all that bacteria that is present in my gut, which is also known as the gut microbiota or the gut flora. Last 20 to 25, 30 years, there has been a lot more studies about it. So you might be thinking that, what is this new hype about gut? And my parents or my grandparents did not talk so much about gut health, and they were all fine and healthy. So why do I need to look into it so much? And the simple reason is that their gut was healthy, so they never had to worry about it. And we have really messed up our guts, and a lot of connection was beginning to be seen between the gut health and other health issues. So that's why in the last 30 years, a lot of research has been done in this area. And all the research that has been done has proven, there are a lot of studies that have proven that the gut plays a very important role. The bacteria in our gut actually plays a very important role in protecting us from external pathogens like viruses, or it also maintains the inner lining in our intestines. And that's how somebody just mentioned also about leaky gut. So definitely leaky gut is linked to good gut health, because our intestines have a lining inside which is very crucial for our health. And if it gets destroyed because of any kinds of toxins that can enter our body through food or environment, then that lining is disrupted, leading to a lot of health issues, and leaky gut is one of them as well. um, then the bacteria also helps in digesting a lot of food which our body is otherwise unable to digest. So basically, we have, of course, billions of human cells in our body, and they carry out a lot of functions. But certain foods that are not natural for us are very difficult for these human cells to digest, because, like I said, they are not natural or meant for our body. But we've seen no matter what we eat, the body has to live with it, handle it, and digest it. So basically, that bacteria helps the body to digest those foods that are difficult for us to otherwise digest. The bacteria also develops and trains our immune system. So basically, a lot of our immune cells would have otherwise not known how to react to certain situations, the external forces, external pathogens or toxins. And the bacteria is very clever, and it actually trains our immune system. And another important role is in the gut brain axis, and I will briefly talk about it later. And it's also covered in detail in the e learning course on how the bacteria and the brain and our gut, all of them are connected through an axis, and how they really impact a lot of the decisions of our life. So basically, you know how we have a battery in the car, and every day you start the car, the battery charges on a daily basis. But there are times when, even when you start your car and the battery is just dead and it's not working, so we know that it's time to give it a big shock and do a jump start to save it from literally dying off completely. So when we do that, we actually do use a lot more power than just turning the key of our car, and we have to give it a big electric shock. So when we do something like that with our bodies, when we have reached or we are about to reach diseases or an illness, chronic diseases, where nothing is helping, and we've been taking medications, antibiotics, various other treatments or surgeries or chemos. We've literally put our body in that situation, similar to the car battery, which needs a jump start. And so when we see a lot of these issues, I've listed them on the screen. Things like major skin and hair problems, or acidity and bloating, digestion problems, constant tiredness, you're feeling tired or weak all the time, or unexplained weight gain or weight losses, mental health issues, hormonal issues, immunity issues, that you feel you're so prone to any kind of infection. So if you're constantly seeing these kinds of things in your body, then it is time for a detox. You really need to detox your body, and that is what I mean by doing a jump start for your body, that go into some extreme and cleanse your body for about 7 days minimum, to you can extend it up to 15 days, 3 weeks. And you will see so many toxins would come out, and you'll see improvement in your health. And that can again be done through your gut, because most of your health issues actually start from the gut and an unhealthy gut. So, as I was briefly mentioning, these are the four major important things that are linked into your gut. Again, I have talked about these 4 points in a lot more detail in the e-learning program. So, if you do go ahead, decide to go ahead with it, I have explained how the bacteria in our gut is related to your hormones, it's related to your immune cells, it's related to the nervous system, our brain, and the gut brain axis. Then even the serotonin levels in our gut, the majority of it is produced in our gut. So that is how it is actually further linked to your a lot of mental health issues as well. So there's a huge number of immune cells in our gut, and as I mentioned that the the bacteria in our gut is very clever, and it's able to distinguish between all the what is the beneficial bacteria for us, what are non-beneficial, what are pathogens, what is toxic for our body. So the bacteria in the gut is actually able to recognize that very cleverly, which our human cells are not. So it plays a very important role to improve the immune system. And the moment it's about the immune system, after that it's about any other health issue, because if the immune system is weak, then you are prone to so many other infections. And here are a few things that about serotonin. I would like to mention that majority, like I said, is produced in our gut, and it's a very important molecule in our body, because it communicates, it gives signals for the communication between the gut and brain axis. Then it gives signals to our intestines for making those movements while digesting the food, so it helps in digestion also. It helps in decision making, it helps in our mood swings, keeping us happy. Then it helps in cognition. You are able to think because of it, you are able to remember and judge and make decisions because of this. So basically overall well-being, because if these levels are messed up, then your decision making skills are not there, then that can impact literally everything in your life, be it relationships or work related professional life, or even making decisions about what kind of lifestyle you want to live, how you want to eat, and literally just everything. So the gut brain is, again, it's like a two-way communication. And again, I will not go into too much detail here now, but to briefly explain, there is like the gut on its own has its own nervous system, and it has a very good communication with the brain. So what we eat is processed by the gut bacteria, and that those signals are sent to the brain, and what the brain perceives from through the help of our five senses, what's happening outside the brain also makes decisions about that, and it sends those signals to our gut. So basically whatever is happening externally through the brain is that message is sent to our gut, and whatever is happening in the gut because of the food we ate is sent to the brain. So what you eat today actually in future makes an impact on what kind of decisions you make in life. So this might sound like a lot, but it's true. Like what you are eating can actually change the way you think, and the way you make decisions about any of your life principles. So, and like I said, it's a two-way communication, and they are sending signals to each other. So they also are in alignment, and they are connected. So if your gut is not happy, your brain will, show some sort of reaction to it. Or if you're, and the other way around, that your brain is not happy, then your gut will show reactions to it. And just to briefly talk about this is an instant, like when, say, you're going for an exam, and of course you are stressed out about it or nervous about it, and or scared about it. So what happens is that those emotions of the brain are sent to the gut as well, and because of that your stomach, if the brain is very scared, then the stomach also gets scared, and it sort of feels like it's just wants to turn upside down. And that's why a lot of people feel that nausea before going for an exam. So instances like this, you can actually, if you just sit and think about it, you will be able to connect it to yourself, that yes, I was sad about something and I felt something in my stomach. Or some people get diarrhea in situations like this, some people get nausea in situations like this. And sometimes, say, when you are really sad, you just don't want to eat anything, even if your favorite dish is lying right in front of you, you just can't eat it. Or you don't even go to the toilet for 2 3 days. So these reactions of your gut, they are just a simple proof that how strongly the gut is connected with your brain. So the famous saying is, you are what you eat. But I would like to add all five senses here. You are what you listen, touch, eat, and smell. Because, like I said, the brain takes signals from, with the help of all our senses, is all the time observing, what is happening outside. And whatever impact external factors have on our brain, even if it's related to an object you really wanted, sometimes um, you saw a t-shirt you really wanted, you didn't buy it, so you were thinking about it all the time. So something as small as that has an impact on your brain for days. And after that, because your brain is constantly engaged, even you came home for the next 3 days, you were thinking about, oh, I wanted that t-shirt, why didn't I not buy it? And so that now those signals are also constantly going to your gut, and it impacts your digestion. And then that further comes back to your brain, and it impacts your future reactions to anything, how you make your decisions, and how happy or sad you are. So be careful about literally everything, how all five of your senses are exposed, and how you are taking care of it. And are you in control of your, is your brain controlling your senses, or are your senses controlling your brain? It's a very important fact, and you want the brain to control the senses and not be controlled by your senses. So as I said in the beginning, that we say that our ancestors never had to worry about these things, gut health, and it, how to fix it and things like that, is simple reason, like I said, that their gut was in a very good shape if we compare ourselves with our ancestors. And it's literally because the lifestyle that they had. Today what our lifestyle has become is, over the years it started changing so much. It's obviously become a lot faster. We don't really have time to sit and take care of ourselves, or we don't have time to even just make our own food, or we want to buy ready made foods because we are busy with work. So all these little things have a major impact, and it has changed our lifestyle completely to how it used to be for our grandparents. And if you look at all these examples that I've mentioned, they used to walk around places. There weren't so many cars at that time, and there was obviously less pollution that time. Then they used to use all natural uptons and hair cleansers and cleansing powders to wash their hair. But now we say, oh, I don't have time for all this, so we just want to buy a ready-made shampoo, which is again loaded with chemicals and toxins. Then dairy and meat industry, again I can talk about hours on meat and dairy industry, but I have covered this in more depth because this is a very common question I get asked, that why none of the dairy products are included in the meal plan of gut health. So I have explained in detail again in the e-learning course, mentioning every single point of how dairy has an impact, and of course those apply to the meat industry as well. that how it is impacting us. But here briefly I would like to say that we keep saying, oh, my grandparents used to have ghee and they're totally fine, and so their time was different, and that time dairy industry did not exist. People had their own cows and they were taking care of them in a very different way. But if you look at the dairy industry today, it's like a torture to animals, and the amount of hormones they are injected with, the amount of antibiotics they are injected with, the way the milk is transported and how it reaches us is unbelievable, and it has changed the quality of the product that we are getting. And apart from that, um, a lot of other lifestyle changes have happened. They used to have a lot of fermented foods naturally, because all vegetables were not really grown and available throughout the year like it is now. These days you name the fruit or the vegetable that you want and you get it throughout the year. That was not the case a few years ago, and that's how the whole process of pickling and fermenting food came about. And so naturally all these things were promoting health of our grandparents, which doesn't happen anymore, and that's why they were much healthier than us. And basically these are all the issues in our lifestyle today that is hampering our health. These are the changes that have we have made, which were not existing few years ago, and that has really hampered our health. Even examples like the use of antibiotics and medicines. I mean, these days people don't even go to a doctor. You just walk to a chemist and you just tell them the symptoms. They also just give you any medicine which should probably not even be an over the counter medication, but they give it to you. People just take it for 5 days, 10 days course, and without really thinking about the side effects of it, and how it's impacting other parts of our body. We are just literally concerned about the symptoms that we see. We have a little headache, you just want to take two dispirins and things like that, without thinking what else is it really doing in the body. So and even things like stress and sleep cycles and the sedentary lifestyle, because we are sitting in front of computers more often rather than being outdoors or walking on the grass or walking in the sun. All these things that were happening naturally in for our older generations are not happening now. And so basically anything in our lifestyle today is not supporting our gut health and our overall health. We've started eating so much white sugar, which I mean at some point did not even exist. And basically anything that is processed, and the more processed it is, the worse it is for our body. And basically means it's been ripped off all its natural nutrient content, and we have something that we find delicious, and we start to eating more of it. And since it's not a whole food, and let's take the example of sugar itself, that sugar which is derived from, say, sugar cane. So eating a sugar cane is one thing which our grandparents used to do, but now we turn it into white sugar and we are eating that. So now the brain accepts it in a very different way, and it becomes very addictive. And then you get into this vicious cycle of eating something which is not good for you. So and some of these things, basically anything which is not good for our health, means it's not supporting the good bacteria in our gut. So basically, our gut has trillions of bacteria. And as I mentioned, if we have about, say, billions of human cells in our body, then we have way more than that bacteria in our body. So we are more bacteria. And in that bacteria, say around 80 to 85% is good bacteria, and around 15% is bad bacteria. And we need some of that bad bacteria to maintain a good balance in our body. But disease happens when the ratio of this 15 to 85% is disrupted, and the bad bacteria starts to increase. And this is why I was talking about this vicious cycle, that there are certain foods And usually those foods that we find delicious and we find tempting to eat and we are addicted to are foods like that are very salty or too sweet. So foods full of white sugar, foods full of table salt, then all the caffeine and any other addictive substance, basically all these are feeding the bad bacteria. So when you eat more of any of these foods, the number of bad bacteria increases in our body. That ratio proportion gets messed up. And basically when the bad bacteria increases, it makes you crave more for its own kind of food. So if you ate a big piece of chocolate pastry and had a glass of coffee, so you were feeding the bad bacteria. Now the bad bacteria grew in number and it's going to make sure that you give it its food. So next day again you're going to crave for sugar, sugar, sugar. You'll eat more sugar, more bacteria, and so this cycle continues, and that's how we are uh, moving more and more towards diseased state in our body. So basically, in the e-learning program, we I have covered points on how to fix your gut. So basically I just mentioned and showed you a few things which are leading to a poor gut health. And a simple way to fix that is obviously to stop doing all those things. But even if today we stop doing all these things, then we know that all the damage that has already been done cannot be just undone by stopping. We have to jumpstart our batteries. And to jumpstart our battery, we really need to give our body a nice cleanse, like a detox. And that's why I've made a meal plan which acts like a detox plan. It's a 7 days meal plan, but you can wish to, the way it is designed, it's not like an extreme that for 7 days you are only on juices or raw foods. There is a lot of food there. There's juices, there's fruits, there's cooked foods, there's salads, there's probiotics. So it's a very balanced meal plan. And if you want, you can actually stick to that meal plan for the rest of your life. It gives you an idea how to have a balanced meal plan and a lifestyle that you can follow, which will have foods that will support good gut health. But for 7 days minimum, I recommend everyone to follow it. And if you do it for 3 weeks, amazing changes you can see in your body, in your skin, your weight, your mental behavior as well. Food really, like I said, has an impact on your brain. And when I turned vegan, I literally changed as a person. I can see that change in my personality, how I react to things. And I used to get angry very easily at some point, but it doesn't happen anymore. So the 7 days meal plan is actually not just for your physical body, but also for your mental body. And if you can carry on with it for the rest of your life, it impacts your emotional and spiritual body as well. We have also covered, actually, Shweta, can you put up your slides?
Yeah, sure, Priyanka.
Yeah,
You'll have to stop sharing your screen.
yeah, I'll do that.
Can you see my screen?
It says started sharing, but
Yeah, it'll just come up.
yeah, I can see it now. Okay, yeah. So basically, in the course, we have a lot of video lessons and downloadable PDFs that cover basically everything about gut health. what is it, and why have we managed to mess it up so much, and how can we jumpstart the battery. So there is a very detailed 7 days meal plan, which I mentioned that you can actually continue it for the rest of your life or as long as you want. But minimum 7 days you should follow to, jumpstart your gut. Then we've also given lifestyle suggestions with the meal plan, because that will really take it up a notch. Because if you are also doing things like exercises and deep breathing exercise, exposing yourself to sunlight and walking on the grass, or doing enemas, all of this is mentioned in your gut health ebook, which will explain what kinds of lifestyle changes also you can make. And I get it that it's a 7 day meal plan with a lot of lifestyle changes. You cannot just start it the next day, but at least you will have a list of things that you can do, and you start adding them as and when you get time, taking one step at a time. So you can look at the meal plan and you say, okay, it says have a green juice, so let me start this at least, and then I'll look at the next step next week when I'm comfortable with one change that I've already made. Then a lot of lifestyle changes that are mentioned, you pick one which is more suitable for you, and you start incorporating those one at a time in your life. And slowly you can see changes. But if you want to go all in, go for it, and just from tomorrow you start that meal plan and you start all the lifestyle changes. But and that's what I like about it being an e-learning program, that you can do it at your own pace. So you have all the information and you can decide that whether you want to do everything, start everything together in a day, and just go for it, or whether you want to take it slow and pick it up every few weeks, add a new habit, make one change every 2 weeks, and take it slowly and make those changes. But even then you're going to see a lot of improvement. You do have a 1 year access to the course. So, and I think that's very good enough time to for you to be able to incorporate all the changes that are suggested in there. And there's definitely going to be Q&A support. You can comment on any of those videos that are there, or PDF files that are there on the e-learning platform, and you can comment and I will check and revert back to you personally to any questions that you may have. And there is a recipe ebook as well. So basically we have a 7 days meal plan, and where we've suggested salads and cooked meals and juices. So separately we've given a recipe ebook, which will have a recipe for everything that is mentioned in the meal plan. Apart from that, there are recipe demos and videos also for the recipes that are listed on the video screen right now, which is the almond yogurt, which is a plant-based vegan yogurt. Then there is millet kanji, which is a probiotic drink. Then there are salad dressings. Basically, I thought it would be a good idea to include few salad dressings that are very universal, and there's so many things you can use them with, and it just makes a boring salad very interesting, very easily. So some very easy to make and delicious salad dressings that can be used for a lot of things. Then there are also demos of oil free cooking. So basically, there's oil-free dal tadka, how to make it. It's absolutely delicious, and you can have it and still, clean your gut and fix your health with just amazing, delicious food. There's recipes for oil-free biryani as well, So some are video recipes. Apart from that, there's a lot of around 20 plus recipes in the ebook. Then so yeah, I guess that's about it. Shweta, you want to take over?
Yeah, sure, Priyanka. So I think you have covered pretty much about the e-learning course and what all is included in the course. I would just like to talk about the special offer that we have for the participants of today's session, post which we will open the group for Q&A.
Sure.
So the Gut Health e-learning course, which Priyanka just talked about, is priced at rupees 1599, which is the regular price. But for now, we have a limited period offer where we're giving 25% off. And this discount is valid till Sunday. So if you enroll yourself for this course now, you can register at the price of rupees 1199. And you can scan this QR code on your screen to pay, or there are alternate payment options which are there on your screen and will be shared in the WhatsApp group as well as the chat box. At the payment checkout, to avail the discount, you'll have to use this coupon code GUT25. So this is what the offer on the course is all about, and I'm sure this course is going to be of great help. It will come really handy to ensure that you work towards improving your gut health through diet and overall lifestyle change. So Priyanka, we will leave the screen on and open the chat box for Q&A. If
Sure.
anyone wants to scan, they can scan simultaneously.
Sure.
I'm just opening the chat box. I'll read out the questions for you.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
I'll just do that. So the chat box is open for everyone now. I'll start reading from the beginning. There were some questions that came earlier. Is vitiligo related to gut?
Yes, it can be related to gut health, and there are other factors also, but it's definitely worth a try to follow this meal plan, and you can, if not cure it 100%, but see 80 to 90% of improvement for sure. Because it really, I mean, it depends on person to person, and how extreme the case is, how long you've had it, and what is your current lifestyle. So, but it will definitely, no doubt that you will see a lot of improvement.
Okay. So there are some questions about whether constipation issues like constipation or other bowel issues will get cured if we work on our gut health, which I think we've answered through.
Yes, I mean, any digestion related issues definitely directly related to the gut. So, yeah.
So how to achieve gut flora? I think it has been addressed in the presentation, but if you want to add a liner to this.
Yeah, so mainly we do need to eat prebiotics and probiotics, well, foods rich in these two. And again, they are discussed in detail in the course, and what is a prebiotic, what is a probiotic, what foods are rich in them. And of course, the meal plan, the way it is designed, it includes both of them. And we have given recipes of those as well that you can start eating on a daily basis. We've also given the quantity because you need to start slow, so it's explained in the course, how to get started, how much to take in the beginning, and then how to increase the quantities if required.
Okay, so there's this question, how to improve gut for food allergies.
So basically, again, it really depends on the person to person and what sort of allergy you have and how long you've had it. There are good chances that it could just be because of sensitivity of the gut and a poor gut health. And so basically, if you omit those foods and follow this meal plan, but it will take time. Food allergies are not an instant solution. So if you avoid those foods that you're allergic to and you follow the meal plan for at least 3 to 6 months, after that you can try to introduce that food again in a very small portion and see how the body reacts to it. Um, so if it doesn't react to it, then have that in small portions once a week and stuff, and then in 2 3 months time you can reintroduce those foods.
Okay, so somebody's put a question about PCOS and hair fall, how it is related to gut health.
Yes, so like I mentioned, all hormonal issues are related to gut health, and again explained in details in the course. but they're definitely related. And if you fix it, you will have to, again, hormones take time, so 3 to 6 months minimum you should give. You follow the meal plan for 6 months and you will see immense improvement in any of the hormonal issues. In fact, this is something you can completely reverse in 6 months to 1 year's time, or maybe 2 years time. But at least in 3 to 6 months, you're going to see a lot of improvement. Um, you might see notice differences in just 1 week also. If you follow the meal plan strictly for hormonal issues, you can notice improvement in just 1 week if literally you do everything that's given there. So you're going to start seeing those changes, but to completely reverse any of these, give it 6 months to 1 year's time.
Okay, so there's this question about enema. Is it harmful for gut health?
No, it's very good, and like I mentioned, it's actually suggested. In the meal plan, we have given enemas. Although I would like to call it tona. Not everybody is familiar with that term, but the major difference is in an enema, people take in a lot of water, which is around 1 liter sometimes as well. I think that is too much. We don't need to do that. Just around 200 ml water is fine. And in naturopathy or nature cure, it's called tona instead of enema. It's the same thing. It's just that we're taking in less water. And also, the length of the pipe of the enema is usually shorter in this case, so the pressure is less, so the water goes in at a slow speed, and there's absolutely no harm. In fact, I recommend it to everybody, and it really helps in detox.
Yeah, so there are in fact some questions regarding detox. How do we detox? What about fasting, water fasting, dry fasting? Can we heal gut through that?
See, fasting is a whole different concept, and for that you will have to do the fast cleanse. I can talk about fasting and different ways to do it, and it shouldn't be unguided, and you shouldn't just go ahead and do it. But I obviously promote fasting, but it needs to be guided and done the right way. It can definitely help you. In fact, this is like I do all of it. I have my own times of fasting, and I follow this meal plan. That is my lifestyle. So both can be done together. Like, it's just not enough that you pick a day and you fast and you feel great, and the next day you go back to your usual lifestyle. So that's not going to help. Fasting is a part of the lifestyle, and eating this way for your gut is also a part of your lifestyle, and they both can go together hand in hand for a faster and a better improvement in your health.
Okay, so how to improve immunity in gut and fight lactose allergy? Which pre and probiotics can be taken with lactose intolerance?
See, such specific health issue questions I won't be able to cover here. I mean, it really depends on person to person, and what they need.
Yeah. So there is this question about how long is this program? So Rubina, details of the program have been shared. You will have access to the program for like 1 whole year. And in that duration, you can access the videos as many times as you like. You can download PDFs and complete the course at your own pace. So I
But
am,
I would just like to add here that, I mean, if you were, say, totally free for a week, then you can go through everything in about a week's time. There is around 4 to 5, I think 4 hours or 5 hours, around 4 hours of videos that can be watched. And apart from that, there is a PDFs, downloadable PDFs that you can download. So, I mean, of course, it really depends on how much time per day you can take out. Um, but if you are really keen, you want to get it done, you can easily go through everything in about 10 days time, and then plan, take a look at the meal plan, take a look at the ebook, and plan that, if you want to start this meal plan, what is the shopping list, what all you need to buy and prepare and get started with it. So all of that can be done in about 2 weeks time. But of course, you'll have the access for 1 year, so you can go back, watch those videos again, and things like that.
okay, so there's this question about from Vandana. I was told that there are some foods or vegetables like spinach which leave residue in the colon? Could you tell which ones are those?
I'm not sure like what sort of residues. I mean, all vegetables are great as far as I'm concerned. Um, I'm not sure what kind of residues you're talking about.
Okay, so is it possible to have good health without fermented foods? Will this e-course be useful to me if I don't have fermented foods?
So basically, the if you want to improve the bacteria in your gut, you need to have fermented foods, and they are included in the meal plan. The recipes are also given. Some of them are just very easy to make. Um, but if for whatever reason you really omit that part and still follow the rest of the meal plan, it will still help you a lot. Um, but generally, like, to speed up the process, if there is more good bacteria in our body, in your body, it will definitely help. So the results will not be the same, but if the question is that yes, if I skip the probiotics given in the meal plan and follow the rest, will I see improvement? Yes, you will still see a lot of improvement in your health.
Okay, and in how much time can we see the results?
So if you follow the meal plan, literally every single step, in 5 to 6 days, you will start to see the results.
So Rubina says, are these all recorded sessions? Yes, Rubina, these are recorded sessions. But like Priyanka mentioned, she's there to support you if you have any queries while you're doing the course.
And yes, I just read this question. Autoimmune diseases are related to the gut, and it will definitely help. Give it at least 6 months' time to show results.
Okay, so somebody says, I can't take citrus things. Can it improve gut? I think maybe she
Yes,
without
yes,
citrus things.
definitely, because all these issues that certain fruits don't suit us, or certain raw vegetables, these are our natural foods, they are meant to be the best for our body. So it's a sign actually that when a citrus fruit is not suiting you, it's a sign that you need to fix your gut. And once you do that, you will be able to introduce them again in your daily routine.
So there are a lot of questions, Priyanka, where people are mentioning different diseases like autoimmune disease you mentioned, hypothyroidism, vitiligo, eczema, PCOS. So how would this course help, or working on the gut health help these issues?
See, honestly speaking, if I have the liberty to say it, the gut health program will, to some extent or the other, will help in any health issue that you have. Some are just that, like I said, you can actually see results in 5 days, but some would take 3 to 6 months for you to see results. It will really depend on what health issue it is. But everybody should be able to see improvements after following this diet, no matter what health issue you have. Um, but if it is anything very particular, I would recommend that you show this meal plan to your doctor before making any changes. Although I know that there's nothing as such in the meal plan that would harm you, but in certain conditions for certain people, certain foods might not be good. And only for that reason, I would recommend that you share the meal plan with your doctor. And if there is anything in there that you feel you should not be eating for your particular health issue, then you can definitely post that comment in the group, and I will be able to suggest you an alternative to that. But any health issue that you have, you follow this meal plan, you're bound to see improvement. But specifically, hormonal issues, mental health issues, autoimmune, any digestive issues, any skin and hair related issues will be taken care of by following this meal plan.
There are some people who are asking when does the program start. So it's an e-learning course. There is no start and a date. You can start, enroll yourself, start accessing the course immediately and complete it at your own pace. Role of ionized water for gut health, Priyanka.
Ionized water. See, I mean, I sometimes feel these are all too much marketing things. We don't need to go into those extremes. Just drink clean water, and you can have lemon water. You want to have alkaline water, and that's fine. You don't have to go into extremes like that. It's also about what we think from the brain. The best glass of water that we can drink is the glass of water that I have, which is affordable in my hand. Rather than thinking about spending lakhs on waters and stressing over it, and then playing with my gut more because I was so stressed that I couldn't drink ionized water, or I bought water that was so expensive. So
There is this question about, okay, are you conducting live sessions during this program? So Jasminder, like we have been mentioning, this is an e-learning course during which we would not have live sessions, but Q&A support is there via the e-learning platform. So that's it. So there is somebody's asking about Q&A. If it is e-learning, how does the Q&A doubt can be added or discussed in WhatsApp? So no, so the Q&A is not through WhatsApp. So the Q&A is through the comments box in the e-learning platform only. So with every video, every post in the e-learning course, there is a comments box where you can add your questions and doubts, and Priyanka will respond to them frequently. Any testimonials of people cured of some diseases? So, Pawan, I would suggest if you go on to the health journey section on Wellcure, it's a very inspiring section on our platform where you'll be able to read how making these lifestyle changes helped a lot of people recover even from chronic issues, even like autoimmune diseases that somebody was asking about. So there are examples of people who have recovered from such issues also. So this 25% discount is only till Sunday. If you enroll before that, you'll be able to avail the 25% discount. If the recipes are good for our lifestyle and health, we will need it for lifelong, not just a year. Definitely, you can download the recipes ebook and have it saved with you. You can take a printout and you can use it as and when required, even after the 1 year duration. Is unexplained weight loss related to gut, Priyanka?
yes, it can be weight loss and weight gain both.
Somebody says replay. I think possibly they want the recording. So recording of this session is going to be shared in the WhatsApp group. Just in case you're not in the WhatsApp group, we've shared the link to join the WhatsApp group in the chat box. Please join the WhatsApp group. You'll be able to access not only the recording, the payment details, the course details, the course syllabus, everything is going to be shared in the WhatsApp group. When can I watch this intro recording so that I can decide on enrollment? So after the session, so by the end of today, we will be sharing the recording in the group. Okay. So for regarding personal consultation, if anybody wants, please get in touch with any of the admins in the group and we can help you connect with Priyanka. I'll again share the WhatsApp group invite. That's what people are asking for. So I think for now, those are the only questions we had, Priyanka.
Okay.
And I think we are good to conclude this session. Thank you so much for taking out time and making that insightful presentation. And I'm sure we will have a lot of people enrolling for the course and will need your support while they are pursuing the course. And thank you for taking up all the questions very patiently. And thank you everyone for joining us today. The link for joining the WhatsApp group, I'll share again in the chat box. So with this, we are good to conclude the session. Thank you everyone and have a great evening ahead.
Thank you, Shweta and Wellcure, for organizing. Bye bye.